Good morning, everybody. This is Friday and end of the week. Now we are already in the second day of the MCO lockdown, isn't it? Has it been tough for you, or is it still same since you haven't been, traveling around and haven't chance to see your loved one or relative which is in the distance? How's that taking a toll in it? Now, in today's newspaper, there was a report that the number of social challenges has increased in terms of people are thinking of to do bad things to themselves. So is this happening to the whole nation, or is this what just happening to a few individuals? Now, the least we could do is to stay positive. I think that's very important too. We at Trade VSA and like to thank your support for all this while able to support us and continue, and as much as we can, we'll continue to give the educational value that is needed for those of you who wanting to learn how to invest and learn how to trade with this market. Since you are not much place to go and the closest to be in touch is definitely through our handphones, then you can probably learn something for free, and who knows, in the coming days or months or week, you might use this skill to add as an additional source of income to build whatever financial goals that you have. That has always been the wishes from our team here at Trade VSA, that we are able to help you with you. And thank you for your support on our breakfast show, Trading Ideas with SmartRobie. Now let's move on with what we have for you this morning in here, since we started on a very somber mood in here, and we will look at some of the headlines that we have seen so far. Definitely today is the Friday session, so we'll be talking about advanced level in here, and the stocks trade idea we'll be looking at will be premium alert, and not forgetting some lesson learned also in the chart setup and all the methodology that we ever taught you in our Trade VSA again is for volume spread analysis. That's right. Now, volume spread analysis, if those of you don't know, has been introduced to me from my Sifu, Bill Wormine, and then later on get to know Tom Williams. And the rest is just history, as many of you who are listening now are using volume spread analysis to make that kind of opportunity that you've never seen before, whether it is the Malaysian market, the SGX, the US, and so forth. And I think that's so important too. Now, let's look at what we have for you in terms of the headline, but let's look at something very positive. Let me just switch on to this here, just pinch up the chart right now. Finally, the much awaited green Pentagon. You can't see that. Let me just switch to a bigger screen. It's here. If you can see on the left hand side, on the bottom there is a green Pentagon. That simply tells you the trend zone has turned bullish. That's right, the trend zone has turned bullish in here. Now that's pretty much it's safe. Now why we've seen that is that we've seen this morning in here, the rubber glove did have a slight pullback, and the last update they are up, which does tell you this top glove is up 2%, Hata is up almost 2%, and that's fairly good. And also we've seen the rebound also on the financial services. So that's why we see what we see today on the green Pentagon. Things are looking rosier than it is. No doubt with the lockdown that we have seen, and also the emergency declaration, which I have clarified on Wednesday night. For those of you who came on Wednesday night, I've done a pretty decent update on the rubber glove. If you have not watched it, go over to the YouTube or go over to our Facebook at martintf.wong or SmartRobie, and you can pick up the video and learn some of the important messages that I want to share with you. So going forward, you'll know how to navigate these difficult times. All right. So let's look at what we have today, this morning, in our KLCI morning headlines and roundup. That's right. Now, first in our roundup is definitely talk about the foreign funds are flowing back. Now, it is. I've just checked with our Trade VSA subscription dashboard that we are seeing the last 6 consecutive days of coming back. Now, of course, you're going to ask, why is the KLCI not going up? Are they accumulating? We will know in due time. We will know in due time. Definitely for sure, market has attempt to make higher, testing higher, and then coming back, testing lower, but not going lower. So it's testing higher and pull back. So that's going to be good. And I'm also in many ways I'm long on the futures. And let's see whether I make money or not. So the foreign funds are 6 days in a row coming back. All right. So definitely this also coincides with the green Pentagon. Never say I never tell you. Okay, so let's go on and what we see. So if you look at in terms of what we have, the KLCI is in bluish trend zone. That's right. If you look from the top of me, just up here, that's right. You can see that. Let's move on to our second news. Now, next news is the Kawan food. That's right. Now, the Kawan food is basically the one that make the frozen roti canai. If you ever go to the supermarket, in Singapore they call it roti prata, right? So this is the one that you will see very frequent. Now, if you are in Australia, some of my Australian friends, definitely roti canai is you got to buy the frozen one. So if you look at Kawan fruits, the chart has actually been coming down a fair bit, and that has become, okay, let me just show you the chart here. Switching to a bigger chart here. So you can see this has been a downtrend, and if you have exceeded on the left-hand side where we saw the orange trend zone. The orange trend zone means the market is actually going down. Will we see a good uplift today? Let's take a look at the stock price based on this news. Whether this news that was on StarBiz has priced in the price move. Oh yes, it's up 1.4%. Okay, well, will it turn green Pentagon? We'll definitely know tonight when the market closes, and SmartRobie will update itself. All right. So those of you who are bullish on food, maybe this is something that, yeah. But let's look at the dividend too. I want to check the dividend out for this one here. All right. Oh yes, the dividend is not updated yet. We will see once this thing get updated. Okay, so dividend is still there. PE is about 28 times, which is almost in par with the sector average. So do take note of this. Let's move on to our next news. Okay. Now, next news is again on rubber glove, and rubber glove has been hogging the headline, getting the kind of attention as we get. And this morning, let's look at it as I just showed you earlier on. Yes, the top glove is up 2% and Hata is up 2%. So remember, right, on Wednesday night, we talked about the other two rubber glove maker. You all remember which one? Inco in Shenzhen, listed there, and also Riverstone. Okay, I'm going to bring out Riverstone, see where Riverstone is this morning. Okay, and Riverstone is, I think, is also up. Yeah, Riverstone is also up. Let me just show you. So this is Riverstone. You can see, let me just blow it up so you can see it a bit more. So this chart is recovering nicely, but why? Maybe just that our KLCI with all the news and everybody is getting in, and it's a bit slow. All right, the other one, Inco. If you have this chart, TradingView, go over and register yourself, and I think many of you would have done that, and at least you were able to see this one is hitting new high, a bit of a slight pullback. So maybe Top Glove, Hatalega, Kosan, Supermax will play catch up, and not forgetting your second tier. I know many of you have second tier, your Kepler's, Comforts, and so forth. But more update, watch last Wednesday. It's still available in that, or join, if you are in the Telegram chat group, just look for that stock and my guy will post it up later. All right, so let's move on. The next news in here. Now, the vaccines are getting a bit more limelight in the recent news. I think this morning, our Minister of Science and Technology, KJ, Khairi Jamaluddin, said that many of us will get our vaccine at Q3. Then the question remains, is it the China one or the Masale one? And yesterday there were news about the China one, only 50% effective. So imagine you buy a insurance policy, okay? If you get into an accident, sometimes they will pay, sometimes you don't pay, right? So think of it, that's what most people will think. I want to buy a policy that if I get into an accident, my car will get paid, isn't it, right? Compensated for that. So that's how many people are feeling for that one. Of course, having said that, being the lockdown, and if you are not one of the frontliner and you don't need to travel, I suppose fairly safe. Just wait for the good quality one. Do you agree with me on that one? If you agree with me on that one, just type it in there. Now, okay, some of you just text in and you want me to look at some charts. Sure, we'll look at that, all right? Let's see any more charts inside here. Just one MMLS. Now do take note, usually I will probably just comment based on SmartRobie. That's right. Okay, and let's go on to our next story. Again, Dayang Enterprise. Let's look at Dayang. Okay, so Dayang Enterprise, the oil and gas, are they making a comeback? Let's look at the stock chart. Switching to a bigger chart here, right? So you can see Dayang, it's a very nice setup. You have the classic, you have the spring, you have the no confirm. It's just, is it gonna, break back up to the 120? That's all we are looking for, breaking back to the 120. Let's look at this morning here for the real-time price. Let me just squeeze it a bit more and hit that Dayang here, hit the livestock price, and see where we are this morning. Just up short of 1% in here. Oil and gas is not making higher. As you can see, also we've seen a retreat of the SCB price. And usually take note, okay, audience. Every time when they put out all the good news, always look at the chart. Don't listen par value. And that's what I've always been saying, there are always elements of smart money out there to trap you, especially if you are what we call, again, going back to the agenda, which I always talk about, being an educated investor and educated trader. And always been emphasized in here, all we ever want to do in Trade VSA is to impart the necessary education to put you through and able to enjoy a good year. That's all we want to do. 2021. Having said that, all right. So let's go on to next we have for you. Now next is definitely focus on the US. Now having all things been said, Dow Jones last night retreated, and they were waiting on the announcement by the incoming President Biden on January 20th, which is only 5 more days. The inauguration, very exciting. We have followed from them since the November. Okay, remember November 2nd, the election, and going through the Capitol Hill siege that we saw, the protest that resulted 5 deaths in here, and now coming to a very divided United States, as we have seen before. Almost 75 million people voted for Donald Trump in here, and you got the other 81 million so-called voted for Biden here. So it's a very divided US that we've seen. But having said that, from a context, from a stock market in here, I do think that the Dow Jones will hit above the 31,000 once the COVID-19 economic stimulus, where the $2,000 will be paid. I believe it will be monthly. It cannot be weekly. Weekly is imagine 8,000 a month. That's a lot. That's almost like a CEO pay, right? Isn't it? 2,000 per month. That's about 8,000 over dollars. That's a lot for most people. That's someone be paying as an economic stimulus. So that equivalent to 1.9 trillion. It's really mind-boggling. How much stimulus they are going. Used to be about a couple of hundreds of billion. Now we are into a single-digit trillion. Now remember, 1 trillion is 1,000 billion. Okay, so let's look at the advanced trade idea. Now remember, in the advanced session today that we are doing, we usually look at the premium alert list. Now remember, premium alert list is updated every 30 minutes. So let me just switch to a bigger chart here. So you can go back to, how do you get that? You can hit that one, hit the, that's one premium alert. All right, you can see earlier on, we have VIS. That's the one very exciting, isn't it? Most of you got IQ, Zhejiang, UP, Poly. I think Poly make a big move. Is it because of the Duo Pharma that they need to make those very small vaccine vial bottles, right? Because anything got glass should go up. Can you imagine? Hatta Lega glass should go up, right? This is very, in a way, I find it's very interesting on our market. Anything you just put a name there and it will shoot product. So this is, but anyway, I've picked some stocks for discussion for educational purposes. But let's look at the highlight that we have from our past picks that we have. Inix made about 55% on 4th of December, third day. Some of you said, why you pick certain. It's because on Friday we'll pick our premium alert. On Wednesday show we'll pick our trending list, and on Monday we'll pick our Pentagon. So take note of that one. Then we have MIEG 6 bars. We have hit 14%. Euro did pretty well in 7 days. 7 days or 7 bars, it hit 32%. 6 days. Care Plus 6 of January hit 38% in 3 days. All right, so signal. So it's those trades that we pick up now. We all pick up some and see how they'll fare next week. Okay, now let's look at the case study that we have. More like looking at the lesson learned, and the advanced trade here is. Let me just bring the chart up for you. Okay, and see this one. Okay, let's look at Euro. Okay, so this is Euro, right? And you can see Let me just turn that off. That's how I found out about the 32%. Now remember, when we first came, it was, what date was that? Let me take it down. 6th of January, it went up 32%. Okay, so euro has been trending up. So some people say, hey, this is a bit risky, and what should I do? Now always look from the risk to reward. How much you want to take, how much you want the risk. And of course, if you're going to be taking some of this trade that is, really going up like rocket ship like this, do trade on a active chart. And what do I mean by active chart? Now, active chart, what we're talking about is the hourly chart, looking at 15-minute chart, which is good. So you can switch to hourly chart in here. You can see, when was that? 6th of January. 6th of January was here when it first started. Yeah, we saw this 6th of January. Yes, because the Premier Alert kicks up here, 6th of January, and the market move out. We have this so-called hourly red Pentagon. But usually, as I said before, you want to exit on a daily bar. Okay, a daily red Pentagon and not on an hourly. Also, the ATR stop loss. There are a couple of rules that we normally teach in our master class. As I said before, these are just more generally. There are certain much better patterns looking at the volume that will help you too. But what I'm trying to say that we are able to show you those tools that's available. It's more important now is that you upgrade your skill. Of course, when you're ready, of course, right? When you're ready, you want to upgrade your skills. Maybe during this MCO times, you have 2 weeks or 4 weeks, and you find that, hey, I've been following Martin a fair bit, and SmartRobie did say a lot of things make sense, and I think this is good, right? And that's always what we want to do. We want you to take your time to learn about the market, and once you get in, you'll find out, hey, the market is much easier and much simpler than you always think too. Now, always, as I said before, always have an open mind going forward. I think that's very important too. So you can see here from the 6th of January, the trend is still up. Of course, you will ask me about those moving average that you see in here. Yeah, they are opening up nicely too. All right, let me see whether there's any more stocks you want me to look at. Yeah, just that one in here. Okay, MMSB. Okay, so these are moving up nicely. Euro, right, it continue to go up 32% in here. Of course, when we do our lesson learn, there are always some bad ones, there are always some good ones in here, right? Again, some of you may say, when you want to take profit, have a profit objective, you can use the SmartRobie trading plan or the exit strategy, whichever one to, or you can do partial profit. You need to sort of, test out which work not. Of course, definitely knowing and having that time, and you have that that time right now because of the COVID. We have to work from home. Definitely that you're able to do so. Okay, so that is what we have for you for the euro, which we picked. I think 6th of January was just last week. 7 bars, and it's gone up 32%. A nice one too. All right, let's move on to the next. Now for today, all right, from our premium alert, we have picked euro, okay, and sorry, not euro, let me just, I forgot to screen print the, excuse me about that. I forgot to screen print, but I'm just going to show you here. You can see here, Ziliang, I think they changed it, 7121, just on top of me, item number 4, okay, that will be it. And then we have ETA is item number 8, stock code 5208. Okay, so let's look at the stock in here again. Usually when you do the premium alert, you want to able to look at the hourly chart. Okay, so first one we'll do is Zenleng Holdings. Nice one in here. This is the daily chart. We'll switch to an hourly chart here. You can see hourly chart is making up a good pickup here. You can see on 12th of January, it already started to run. See here. So sometimes it's pretty fairly, of course, if you buy from here, right? Let me just drag this using the green Pentagon up to here. That will be a 47 profit. That's right. So of course, we always say, do the Pentagons, right? It takes a bit of time to run. Of course, right now, you have seen it already run, right? Well, you have to have a bit patient. Now, some may do say, hey, do you repaint the Pentagon guide? Now, our plugins are in TradingView. We don't repaint them. It is what it is. So what you see is what you get. So you see both the weaknesses and also the strength of the Pentagon guide. And knowing what to take, I think the lessons is more important to share with you in here. So you are able to do so much better in here. All right. Let's move it up here. So this is So the Zac Lim. Okay. Now the next one we're looking at is ITA. They make lifts. Okay. If you happen to go to some of the lift in the building, right, you look for ITA Schneider on the panel. When you press the button, you press the button here. On top there got ITA Schneider and also the escalator. That's one of their advertisement in Federal Highway next to the Henneken factory. There's one there. I visited them before. Actually, that time was about 1:30 and they broke through, you can see that. And I think they've gone into some sort of energy. This morning it's up 12%. Now remember at the time where I was talking, was around 233, started to move up. And this is one of those stocks. I think there are some news coming in. You can check the news, but usually stock move first, then news come, right? This was a good one. It's very similar. You can see this kind of setup, again, very, very similar. And what we want to do is just to show you, right? And you can see the market goes up here, right? Let me just pull this back. Yeah, you see the market goes up here when the retreat, right? Again, in our advanced level is to make sure the retreat, or what we call the slight pullback on step down volume. You see this step down volume, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you call step up. So now right now we're going to have step up. So this one in here, it's a very climatic volume in here. Now if this volume doesn't go higher, what's going to happen next? You will likely to see in the next couple of hours, the market will come down. When the market want to go up, it has to be a step up volume. So if this volume is down, then you'll see this will probably turn back down. So something you want to take note of based on volume spread analysis. Okay. Okay, there's another one, SCIB. I think that's okay. We will look at that. So those are things that you know. So this one are our stock trade idea for our advanced level for episode number 24, 15th of January, Zac Lim and ITA. And who knows, just like the earlier one, Euro and Care Plus. Next week when we come back, will it go up by 30%? We don't know, but certainly we want to look at the reward and risk, and more importantly, understanding those charts and a little bit of fundamental too. Now, I always said before, if you are happy with 30% in 6 days, that will be something you want to look forward to acquire the skill. Or for some of you who are more laid back, you are happy with 30% over 3 years because you want to get 10% per year, 10% per year, 10% per year. That's fine too. It's all going back to how much effort you want to acquire that skill. So I hope this makes sense. 30% in 6 days or 30% in 3 years. You have to make up that mind. There is no two-way solution to it. Which one is good for you? But here, we are trying to make you realize and create the kind of awareness that with our tools, Trade VSA and volume spread analysis, we are able to showcase to you. If you acquire this skill through all our free live FB and the shows that we do through Zac and Arif, right, then you're able to build the necessary know-how, skill, and knowledge to get to where you want to. All right, that's the message we have. And definitely, of course, if we look at the chart here, we are on a backdrop of a bullish KLSE. Sorry, this is not orange. Let me just, a typo mistake. Let me just make a small amendment here, right, of a blue trend zone. Okay, that's right. So it will be a blue trend zone. Okay, so take note of that one. That will be definitely. All right, there's some of you guys want me to look at some stock. Definitely, I'll look at MMSV. Okay, now MMSV has done red Pentagon. All right, definitely. Again, where did you go in? All right, some of you may have gone in here. Then you have to be careful. Of course, if you follow the green Pentagon, all right, way back from here to here, wow, 81% profit. So that's why we always talk about having a necessary trading plan, right? At one time or not, you not sure, yeah, it turned green Pentagon. I wait first lah. I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait. And finally you got in here lah. That's already too late, isn't it? Isn't it, right? Why do we continue to do this kind of thing? And partly sometimes I think is that we never have an agenda, that we are not disciplined enough. We do not hold ourselves accountable to our trading plan, right? And because of that fear, we've been slapped left and right. So you have to draw the line. Be accountable to yourself. Be accountable to your goals. Be accountable to your trading plan. And if you have gone in there by now, you'll be fine. Of course, you may have just gone in here, right? And you have the red Pentagon. Next thing you want to do, very simple. you type MMSV. Okay, hit that one and look at the exit strategy. That's right. Look at the exit strategy in here. I think to hit 143 and 152. So 143, I think hit it here. Yeah, hit it there 143. That is the last target in here. Exit on the next Pentagon rate. You can see on top here. You can read here. Pentagon rate. MSV is still in an up range and bullish trend zone, but be cautious should MMSV turn lower. Stop loss definitely is 107, way down here. Yeah, 107, that's your stop loss. Usually when you see the red Pentagon and you are already in the money, take partial profits, because very likely as this junction the market may just sideways, and if the green Pentagon were to pop up maybe today, continue with it. So I would just hold the next 1 or 2 days and be cautious about it. Great Tech and Unisem, if you notice, all right, let me just switch to a bigger chart here. Now, of course, SmartRobie can also tell you. Check out Unisem and Great Tech in the sector technology. All right, so it's pretty smart to recommend you that things in here. Let's look at Great Tech. All right, there you go. See, Great Tech's just continue to go up since the green Pentagon. You notice, right? So if you've gone in the green Pentagon here, right? Well, 17% profits already. Yeah. Okay. So learn to follow SmartRobie if you can. It's a further extension of the methodology volume spread analysis, which is passed on to you, and it's with you 24/7, and it gets updated at night. Okay, another stocks you want me to look at was earlier on SCIB. Okay, so let me just switch to a bigger chart here. Okay, SCIB, that's a Sarawak consolidation in here. Yeah, this one continue to run your profit. Now, don't get into the habit of after gone so high, you need buy. You see where's green Pentagon? Keep telling you green Pentagon. Now, if you don't have, you say, hey, Martin, the SmartRobie, doesn't show enough, right? Then maybe think of upgrading to a TradingView plugin. We have our right-hand side there, some information. You can contact Zac, and if you're ready, just upgrade. I hate to see people lose money because they not willing to invest their money into some form of education in here, right? Or some people say, no, there's so many free things, just use the free things first. But it's okay if it makes you money, okay? If the free thing makes you money, go ahead and continue to use it, right? If not, maybe think about as, part of education. When I did my degree, my parents sent me overseas to study. That was education well paid, isn't it? I won't be here what I am today. I invested also on my MBA, on my CFA. If not, how to share with you all this knowledge, isn't it? Right? We all have to put, that's why education is very, very important. I cannot highlight it more. Okay, that's another one, WCT. WCT, okay. Okay, WCT on a daily chart, since they have turned red Pentagon, again, going back to the trading plan, okay? WCT. Of course, once you have this red Pentagon, generally the market, it's heading what? Okay, let's take a look at it. Okay, I'm just going to read out from what SmartRobie were to say. So sometimes you also say, yeah, this Martin Wong, ask him question. Every day read from SmartRobie one. It is, because my analysis will be based on SmartRobie. So let me just bring up the bigger charts first, okay? Okay, so let's look at the exit strategy. Okay. Okay, let's look at. So exit is okay. Let me just bring up the bigger chart there. Okay, so you can see in here exit at 47. Okay, 47 in here. That would be, you should be out by then. If you're now here, you better put it at 47. Okay, by this point the market already broke down, and WCT is construction, so you have all the what we call the hedge SR project. You know, the high-speed railway project being cancelled. So WC is one of the biggest. Now, property is so slowed down. We all know, right? The Echo World and UEM Sunrise, the merger has broken off. At the same time, now I was thinking, I read a story way back 3 or 4 weeks ago. At one point, they said that Echo World has one of the best sales of their property, right? GDV and all this. But if they have that sale, why do they need to merge? You know, sometimes I also scratch my head, right? So we really have to dig deeper to those stories that they tell you. And it's only a very small columns only between the Echo World and the the UEM Sunrise, the merger being called off. Okay, the merger being called off. But when they sell property, you see in a big, right? But we all know, isn't it? Star is one of the biggest revenue receiver in terms of advertisement from Echo World. I'm not sure now. I haven't read the newspaper for a while. I use the digital version, so I probably skip the ad. You know, what do you think of it, right? Okay. So that's what we've seen so far. Just that put your stop loss at 47 cents. Okay, Emilus, I do think this one will move nicely. Okay, yeah, Emilus. So Emilus, you have green Pentagon. Yeah, that's pretty good. So keep with it. Green Pentagon, that's started to move up in here. Now, some of you may have bought it here. Yes, the market dipped back down, but always look at the ATR stop loss. Okay, the red Pentagon thing to exit a bit if you want to, right? And especially if the market run a lot. The first time you see red Pentagon, you might just want to exit it, exit a bit. As the market trend down, you exit. So it actually give you a warning lah. The red Pentagon, no, like, oh, suddenly, you know, what happened? So that is definitely one of them. Again, in here is quite smart. K-Power, FPI for the consumer products and services. Okay, considered other shares to K-Power. I think K-Power has done pretty well, being the theme for the green energy. Again, you have not heard my talk on green energy, do watch it way back on I think in November. All right. Okay. Yeah, there are some. Okay, Richie said that have confidence on TS Liu, Echo World. I hope so too. It's not so much on the confidence on the person. I think it's a sector. You can be a brilliant guy, you know, but if the sector doesn't help you, you have to turn. And very good example. I know some of you have made money from Echo World, no doubt about it. But to me, the loyalty is to merits. I think it is, you know, especially in the stock market. No doubt, you know, Richie said that you want to have confidence on Tan Sri Liu, but you have to look at the sector. Give you an example. Let's look at AirAsia. Now, I have to say, if the sector is good, we don't have COVID. I can tell you, you know, Tony Fernandez is a damn good CEO running it now. But now with the COVID, now we don't see things flying until end of the year. What do you think? You tell me, right? You can continue to hold on to it. Now, what I'm trying to say is to teach you to be subjective. Okay, I'm not taking you to be critical of the person. No doubt he has his good management skill, but we always have to work on what we think will help our goals. Okay, and that's always been the message I have for you guys. If we continue to, I hope you haven't hold Echo World lah. Okay, having said that, all right, maybe Echo will rebound. Buy it now and hold it. All right, buy AirAsia now and hold it. Buy Genting now. I have, the confidence of Genting management is wonderful. Having said that, but the sector where it is a concern. So that's why I said before, ladies and gentlemen, learn to read the sector. The sector analysis, it's very important. Now, things has changed over the years. Especially my portfolio done pretty well, as I said before. This year, 2020 I was up 50%. Let's see how I do this year. It's because we started to think in sector rotation, sector analysis, okay? And when you start doing that, even last year, 2020, the KLSE may be only up shortly less than 3%, but they are those tech sectors, the healthcare sector did well, okay? Think along that line, okay? I hope that helps with you. Yeah, I think it's also important. We must wake up from our slumber sleep, right? You used to think, oh, buy public bank and buy Genting and hold forever, isn't it? That's what my father and mother think, isn't it? Correct, but we cannot do it now. You look at it, what I talk about, Bitcoin, the electric vehicle, Okay, and those guys who is coming tomorrow, the 16th of December, right? We're going to be talking at some value growth stock. I have to apologize. We are really full up. And those of you, like Malaysian or last minute one, sorry, I closed the registration. Else my guy Zac and Arif cannot handle it. So we close our registration on the 13th. Those of you who are registered, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Okay, so we have, I've been working very hard almost every day on live FB with you guys. So I hope that, the lesson, things that we impart to you, you can use it and share it with your family, share it with your children especially. I do know like my children really not interested in stock market. I said that many times before. They do think money come from ATM when they were younger. Now slightly better because every day they say, yeah, Dad, you keep saying the same thing over in live FB. We know money don't come from FB, okay? Have to come from working hard. So so my children also watch me on live FB once a while, all right? Okay, let's move on to what we have for you. Okay, so again, going back to the chart setup here, which I've talked about, the stepping up and stepping down. Very shortly, just now I talk about one of the patterns in here. You want to step up, and when you pull back, you want to step down, and eventually this line change, that's the one you want to break out. And usually the line change is our Pentagon guider. All right, Pentagon guider for that one. Okay, more of that in this QR code. So just, if you have not watched it, just text it in there. Okay, and watch it. Okay, 2021, our goals for our breakfast show has always been try to learn lessons from some of the top 2020 trades that you may have missed out, like the Supermax, the 430%, the Kosan, the Vitrox, the Penta, all those nice, and the Great Tech. Okay, and the VS and the UWC, those have really moved up, right? There was a news today talk about Great Tech boss, son of a taxi driver, now billionaire. That's a wonderful story to hear in Malaysia. You can still become a billionaire if your parents is a nobody. That's right, and that gives a lot of inspiration. People like ourselves in here. I don't think I'll ever become a billionaire. Okay, but definitely I will work hard to get to that goal, and I'll work hard for you guys too, to bring the educational value. I see me as an educational person, what I've learned from the market, from all the degrees that I have accumulated, I want to pass on to you too. All right, so again, sorry about that, let me just go back to here. So you can see in here, then item number 2 will be the Pentagon guided trading portfolio strategy, and this is a back-tested simulation that we did, and it generated about 106% return, almost an average of 9% per month. And that's something that I think you can also do it that too. The way to do it, there's a QR code on the right hand side. If you have not seen it, go ahead and view it in here. And one of the key things we talk about it, able to do that, is to avoid the big sell-off. Okay, you can see that by following the rules, which we will share with you tomorrow on the 16th of January in here, you can avoid the stock market crash on the COVID-19 in the February timeframe, and you can get back in April. I think that's very important too. That's the message you want to do. Don't be the dung fella, the blah fella, the tahan fella. No, never mind, market drop, I buy cheap. I can tahan one. Oh, at night cannot sleep. Hair also turn white. Wife also scold you, or husband also scold the wife. Why you want to be so silly, isn't it? In here, and of course, not forgetting our main event. Some of you say that, hey, I'm ready to upgrade, or some of you say, hey, maybe I'll think about it, but definitely we would like you to register earlier. Our February intake 5, 6, 7 and 10. You see the intensity that we really want to share with you. We do over 5 days for our masterclass, 5, 6 and 7, and on the 10. Okay, so there's new ways to look at it. We're also having a promotion start tomorrow. Again, we call it the Chinese New Year promotion. Just take note of it. We are giving extra months, and tomorrow, if you sign up on the 16th of January, we give you 1,000 SMARTRobie credit, and this one I will showcase tomorrow in our value investing course for those of you who want it. If not, I'll see you tomorrow there. Okay, now next Wednesday, another great talk. Again, my team and myself will be looking at semiconductor sector. That's right. After we done the 16th of January, the value investing course, right? So you know what are the things that they look out. And then on Wednesday, I will give you some of these share trade idea, both on the Malaysian side and the US side. And if we do rally, hey, why not? We can make 30% in maybe 6 months in a year. I'm happy with that. 30% in 6 days, that's a bonus. Okay, well, that's always been the message here. So do take note, next Wednesday, the semiconductor sector, will it continue to soar in 2020? As like now we are seeing. So some of you put in just now, Emilus, they can jalan, your Penta also can jalan, your Inari. Let me see Inari today. I think Inari yesterday breakout already. Inari hitting, Inari hitting, gonna come $3 soon already. All right. So again, if you have some of those stock, what we call stuck, especially like in construction, in some of the what do you call it, the property one. So open up, sell some first, move them off. The sector rotation, ladies and gentlemen, which I've talked about. That's why the Wednesday section will be the semi-class. So make a date with me next Wednesday now, and right this weekend, I have to start the research work to prepare them, just like what you saw last Wednesday in here. Okay, so we do a decent good work to get you ready, and that's always been, let me just make it to a bigger screen. Yes, that's right. Now, of course, tomorrow event will be the value investing course. Some of you say, yeah, Martin, I was late because I'm busy. But also it coincides with the MCO lockdown, so you'll have plenty of time. 10 to 3:30, do come in. I think we'll limit up to 500 people. Right? If you miss this one, we intend to do one 2 or 3 months down the road. If not, of course, for those who have signed up for our plug-in as well for a masterclass, this course is totally free, and we repeat this 2 to 3 months one time because we add new syllabus. Because I'm constantly always in the market, investing and trading and testing out, running program, running algo with my SmartRobie, my team. So we find a lot of new things we share with you. We are always in the market. We don't still telling people to buy on those Fibonacci's. I'm not saying they don't work. I'm saying that we've gone beyond that. We are doing a lot of research work in ourselves. Those are traditional in the text, in the methodology in here. But we find that new things, just like new sectors, new technologies, the 5G, the Bitcoin, the cryptocurrencies, the EV, the DNA, right? Those are the next sector that's going to make you money. All right, just take note of that. And then again, this one is something that we're going to be talking about in here to give you, the impact and how we're going to go forward that on both sides of the dials. All right. So we are heading towards the end of our talk in here. If you're not joining our Telegram group, do join us in here. And I think I cover a fair bit in here. Okay, thanks, Raj. I'll see you tomorrow. Some of you guys and also the semiconductor. With that, bye-bye. And I'll see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Okay, those of you who are coming. Bye-bye.